सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सद्गुरु साई ध्यान करो।
सद्गुरु साई ध्यान करो।
सद्गुरु साई ध्यान करो। सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम ब्रह्मा सोहम विष्णु।
सोहम ब्रह्मा सोहम
सोहम विष्णु।
सोहम विष्णु।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
सोहम आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम ध्यान करो।
सद्गुरु साई ध्यान करो।
साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
सोहम ब्रह्मा सोहम विष्णु।
सोहम विष्णु।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम साई ध्यान करो।
सोहम आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
आत्मा शिव परमात्मा।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
ब्रह्मानंद से हृदय भरो।
सोहम सोहम ध्यान करो।
काली काली महाकाली कपाली। काली महाकाली कपालिनी
काली महाकाली कपालिनी
दुर्गा दुर्गा देवी दुर्गा भवानी
दुर्गा दुर्गा देवी दुर्गा भवानी
काली काली महाकाली कपालिनी
काली महाकाली कपालिनी
मंगल गौरी माता महेश्वरी
मंगल गौरी माता महेश्वरी
राज राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी नारायणी
राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी नारायणी
राज राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी नारायणी
राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी नारायणी
काली काली महाकाली कपालिनी
Invoking the blessings of the Almighty, respected elders, distinguished guests, and participants from around the world. Welcome to the day 54 of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival here at Sri Sathya Sai Grama. As we celebrate France today, we heartily welcome all our brothers and sisters from France. Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Welcome. And this evening, as a part of Know Your Mission, we have Dr. B.G. Jayaram, a distinguished leader, educator, and mentor. He currently serves as the director of the Center for Training and Leadership Development for the Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva group of institutions, and also leads as the director of the NGO Miles program. He is associated with the mission since 2013. Commander Dr. Jayaram has played a pivotal role in the establishment of the Center for Human Excellence in 2014 and continues to shape its vision through his strategic leadership, training initiatives, and unwavering commitment to human development. With over 45 years of professional experience, Commander Dr. Jayaram has served in diverse and prestigious roles, including service in the Indian Navy as a commander and leadership positions in technology and management teams at Infosys Limited and also in Singapore. His remarkable contributions have been recognized with several honors, including the Chief of Naval Staff Commendation Medal and the Paul Harris Award from Rotary International. Over the years, he has trained and guided multiple batches of postgraduate students from our university, preparing them to take diverse leadership and service roles across the institutions, empowering them to carry forward the mission with competence, character, and commitment. We now invite Dr. Commander B.J. Jayaram to share insights from the Department of Training and Leadership Development. Commander Jayaram.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering reverential pranams to our dear Sadguru. Sai Ram to all the elders, guests who have come from different countries who are here, dear students and brothers and sisters. Grateful to Swami for giving this opportunity to share about the function and how it gets converted and answers to the flow of the mission. Center for Training and Leadership Development is generally known here as CTLD in the short form. Our focus has been out of the three verticals to focus purely on the education mission and consider that as one of the key areas. We are looking at the education mission as an area which requires not only just training, it also requires them to be groomed, these students, and also enabling them capable of doing the internship program, prepare them for on the job. Also, you have the leadership development and also managing the campuses and growing themselves as leaders beyond a certain point. So this has been the key focus on which the Center for Human Excellence, under which this started off. If you look at the history, when Swami started the Center for Human Excellence, there was always a division he had created called Training and Development Division. So the thought process for focusing on training and development beyond the degree courses was taught much earlier. And then subsequently in 2015, the teachers training was included. By the time the number of campuses had increased. And by 2017, the Future Ready program was initiated by Swami, at that time Brother Madhusudan, because he said the first batch of graduates are coming out, how do we take them forward? So that is how the Future Ready Academy was initiated and started saying that what will they do as an internship? Subsequently, what will they do in the campuses? The focus was that can they grow from there to lead the campuses and to lead different divisions of the organization. 2018, watermark time, that is a time when the university started and the CHE got merged with the university and CTLD became an independent organization. But basically there are 6 core functions which the CTLD does. The one is the Admission Management Center. I would bring out shortly as to why that has been put on right on top. Then the Future Ready Academy, and you also have training support for all the staff as the staff numbers are growing in different areas. So you require the training support. Also the feedback taken from students and teachers, how does it get analyzed? How does the quality improve? And the last part of it is support to the actual operations of the campuses. So these are the 6 broad areas in which CTLD supports. You are all familiar with this. We have 23 campuses, 15 boys and 8 girls. Now every year, when the new students come, where do we take? How should it be taken? Prior to 2021, the selection process was somewhat similar to what was happening in many other organizations outside. That is, give an entrance test to students based on academics, and they all will write. In fact, sometimes we used to have about 8,000 applications, 9,000 applications. Examination used to be held at multiple locations in Karnataka. And then based on the merit list of this, the students were being called for interview. But the focus was only those who are on the merit who are getting into this. Swami, with his divine guidance, he said, we do not want only academic excellence. We want people who are aligned to the mission, who have got a bent of spiritual mind. The family should support because the students are coming at the age of 10. So the family will give us an indication as to how they are. So that is how the entire recruitment changed into first, we will be calling the parents and the student to understand what is their alignment, what is their interest, how much of samskara they have got, do they respect, how they have commitment to contribute towards the society by educating the student and he continuing for a long time. So the whole admission system got changed. And you would find that in the subsequent you will get an indication of how the admission system has helped. There are so many people, even if you ask for today an admission for any class, you will get tens and thousands of them. How do we select the right one? We have to adopt probably the same policy that was adopted for identifying the right people by Swami has given a number of times this example. How does a farmer chooses the seeds to grow? Does he pick up any seeds and make it to grow? Or how does he find a seed which gives you bumper crops? So we are looking at admission at 6th grade and for all the 23 Gurukulams, and NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, which you had the presentation, takes students from 6th to 12th level, but our admission is mostly restricted to at the 6th level. And criteria for selection plays a very key role. So as we said, should it be academic? Should it be a salary-based or income-based? Or should it be people who are staying nearby? What is the criteria to be adopted? And of course, applications are made available online so that people are able to access at different locations. This is what we are looking for. Can you first identify what seeds you want to sow? As you sow, you will reap later if you have been grooming them well. So admission management focuses on, helps the Gurukulams how to identify the right seed. And we are looking for, while earlier the system used to be a physical paper application, and people used to find it difficult to find where to get the application. There were people who were misusing the applications from agents who were there. So application was made available online. Anybody can get it. Of course, it will not be available all the time. It is available for about a month plus. If they go to any of our websites of the trust, they will be able to access and write. Some of the people from villages, etc., may require help from the cyber cafe or somebody who is supporting. But today they are doing it for various applications, including railway applications or any application. So they are very familiar with this. Online applications are available and only one application can be put for a student. How do we ensure? Because we used to see that earlier, number of people used to apply at multiple places. So Aadhaar card is a criteria. If you have applied once in one location, you cannot again apply on the system. And when they apply, they can choose, okay, this will be my first location of Gurukulam, this could be the second preference, this could be the third preference of Gurukulam. And that is how the student is mandatorily, like the government of India has said, everybody should have an Aadhaar card. And once we have, all of them are called for an initial interaction into the campus. Every applicant, first preference wherever they have given, they are called. Sometimes if the numbers are large, it will be called in batches. And when they are called, they are told about how the Gurukulam works and gives an introduction about the service, what are the different educational models and how Gurukulam system works. Also an exposure to the students of what is the routine, how they should be living in the hostel, and clarification to parents. Now this is an important part. It is all done by the Gurukulam Pradhana Palakas and Upapalakas. After that, they are given almost about a week's time. You go back and think. And what we hear is many times the parents are not ready to send the students to even to the Gurukulam or the hostel. Many times the students are not ready. So all the filtering will happen, and after 1 week, they are told to come after for the second round. So this, wherever the initial hesitation is there, people are already dropped. Now in the second round, it is a smaller group, and each group of interaction is done, whether they are interested further to go forward and discuss different aspects, including parents' involvement. Are they able to do seva? What about the discipline? What is the daily routine? And explore family background. What is the type of family background? What is their samskara? And what is the culture of the family? And inform and advise what they should do. At this stage, the second level of filtration happens. categorized into 3 groups. Preferred applications may be consistent, may be considered later, preferably not considered. Because food habits, getting up in the morning, leave, holidays being given, when all these are told, many of them hesitate. So that we get automatically filtered out instead of spending later time. And you will have later, as a third round, we will have parent and student interview. They will have to come, both of them will have to come on a scheduled date, and there will be a panel consisting of the warden, Pradhana Palaka, some teachers, and first part is only the student is interviewed. And once the student is interviewed in the Gurukulam, in the first preference Gurukulam, next the parent is called and interviewed along with the student. You can make out sometimes what the student has told and what the parent tells. It could be different, but student always tells the truth. So once it is done along with them, they are also further discussed on daily routine, attitude, what are the habits of the student, how much of mobile usage is there, how much of TV usage is there. So student would have told, now we will be asking parent to tell the same thing, and the student will be just sitting without talking. So you also like to know the interest of the students. Do they chant any slokas, Indian scriptures? How do they celebrate festivals at home? And do they know some portions of Indian history? All this job is done at each of the 23 campuses by the Pradhana Palakas, the student in charges, whom generally call as warden, as well as many other teachers and senior members. Subsequently, after the interview is all done, the entire data is collated and it's all there available onto the system. So once the data is collated, merit list is drawn. Based on all these factors and the panel recommendation, you will find a merit list is drawn and results are announced. At this point of time, only 20 students are taken to a campus. In that 20 students, only 10 students are taken under the general category. The remaining 10 are taken under the Madhyal Narayan Bhatt scheme. We will share with you a little later. So students and parents are communicated generally by WhatsApp. Nowadays, WhatsApp is available easily with even at the village level. Also, sometimes on SMS or intimated to them personally by phone by the Pradhana Palakas. They are given about a week's time or a 10 days time to come and finish the documentation. They don't have to join immediately, but it all happens in April, May. And if some parents or students prefer not to join at that time, if they develop a cold feet, they will say hesitate and cry. If the parents decide, then obviously that opportunity goes to the person who is there on the next on the reserve list. We had about 2,487 boys applications which came. I think that we had about 2,437 boys applications received and 10,056 girls applications received. So, or a ratio of selection that happens is 1:19 for boys and 1:15 for girls. If you see the statistics based on the demography, we have got about, this year 62% of them are from village. It varies between 62 to 70. Small towns are around 20%. Cities around 15 to 18%. So you can say by and large, even though some of the village people might be staying in the city, but it is considered as that they have applied from the city. The remaining 10 seats for the 6th standard is taken through Madhyal Narayan Bhatt scheme. I'm sure most of the audience may be knowing, fondly called as Anna. He is the founding father and patron for the Alike and Muddenahalli institutions. A visionary, a patriot, social worker and spiritual seeker, and nurture the aspiration to set up free schools all over Karnataka that would impart value-based education. All this has been implemented under the guidance of Sadhguru. So 50% of the seat at 6th level is introduced. How do we select these people? As Swami had guided earlier, these seats has to go to the poorest of the poor, who may not even know such a school is there, who may not even know how to apply. So as a first part, this information is collected through villages, government schools, from the teachers, social workers who are there. Once their data is there, you will find that actually our Pradhana Palakas and Senior Palakas visit the house without announcing. So if few glimpses of it is there, try to find out, are they interested? Are they keen on sending their student? That could be one of the biggest challenges which we find, that they are poor, very poor, but then are they ready to send the student to study here, not just for 6th standard, not just for 8th standard? Are they interested that students should continue here further? We're also looking at information gathered from nearby concerned teacher. Neighbors are also asked, are they really poor? I'm sure some of the photographs, if you see, you can make out. But there are occasions where few people are living in a little good places. We may go visit, gather the information. We may keep it on reserve, may not look for it immediately. Academic level of interest of the student is also equally important. May not be requiring to get brilliant academics, but still he should have the interest, he should have inclination to study and to certain level. And the selection is done on a centralized view based on all the input which is available, including the visit to the number of times they have gone, what information they have gathered, where are the siblings of the students are studying. Everything is available on a Scholaro system, and based on the Pradhana Palaka and the central team, the selection of 10 students are done. So home visits includes generally what is the family dynamics. Most of the occasions we get somebody is drinking, somebody is not there. Many places it could be single parent, and how is the child and parent interaction, what is the habits of the student, has the family willingness. To the best possible extent, this information is calculated and observations are done. Today, we have 638 MNP scholarship students studying in various campuses with us. If you see over a year, every year, roughly around 130 to 135 students are selected from different, in Gurukulams. And if you see that this year was about 99 students and 48 girls. We also had 102 students and 45 girls. One of the challenges that we see is that sometimes the students, after studying for some time, they reach a saturation level of not able to continue with the studies. They are not interested beyond a point. It's very difficult to test them at that stage, even though some preliminary test is done. The other difficulty is that after student reaches and he can speak in English, he can be smart, everything, parent wants to take them back. I'm alone, I cannot live alone with them. So we do have certain amount of losses which will happen, students will happen, but there are brilliant students and some of them perform extremely well, and it is all the grace of Swami who gave them an opportunity to come and join. So with this, the entire admission process which is there on a Scholaro system and merit list is also on the system just to bring the transparency perfectly. And after necessary documentation, students can join. There is a small amount of documentation which is done. So now the seed has gone into sampling. Now that requires to be nurtured if you would like to get fruits out of it. So here is the role where the Gurukulams nurture them, brings them up to 6th standard to 12th standard, 7 years of grooming, both on Paravidya, Aparavidya, other aspects of holistic learning is given through. You have got a large number of Palakas, Upapalakas, teachers, and the staff. At the end of secondary education, the student finishes and applies and joins for the Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. It could be for BA, BSc, BPA, MBBS course, nursing, allied courses, and some of them who feel that they are not able to attend, they will join the other courses which are available, skill development, it could be at somewhere middle stage of before 12th, or it could be for the agriculture college, etc. So once the 7-year process is over and then they spend 3 years plus in the university, they are all graduates. And this is the stage where the Future Ready Academy, which was started off as early as 2017, starts awaiting for these. These are fruits have started coming, but they are not ripe. They have all finished their educational capability. They have all got exposure within the campus. But now they require to, they were all a part of the class. Now they require to do. So the graduate students from university do a internship in various gurukulams. Future Ready Academy tries to train them either before joining or during the period. And every person who is undertaking the internship also gives a 15-day report online. What is the work doing? How is he doing across? Is he finding it difficult? Any help is required. Pradhana Palakas are there. This is also to counter how individually, like internship, everybody has to write a journal. This is what they write, saying that this is what we have done. For those who complete their post-graduation, they are all preparing to go as staff of the trust or the institution. It could be Upapalakas, Palakas, administrative and other roles are taken. Once this, as I said, it was set in 2017, the objective was to build necessary management skill for a role which they will go further. One is the existing role, you train them, also prepare them for the next role which they will take. So the graduate internship program has got teaching student hostel management, parampara coordinator, kitchen management. You ask for anything that role which exists in a campus, they will all handle differently. And grooming the coaching, guiding and supporting the key methods adopted for developing role-based, with transparency. Okay, we have, with the Future Ready Academy, the output of Future Ready Academy is those who have got qualified and now they are trained. Those who have internship, they would complete this and move on to their post-graduation course. Those who are already postgraduates, they will start having, after the initial stage, individually, they will start handling the roles much higher than that. Their ability to connect with parents, how they inspire students, devotion in God and Paravidya. So these are the collaboration with and support for the industry. And I think this was 24th of October 2023, when the first batch of students who are graduates, who are on staff, who had got exposed, starts handing over, which we call it as the Paramparantarana or Kartavya Danda, where the previous senior chap hands over to the lower chap. And this is where the first set of fruits have come out. Till today, we have about 330 graduate internship has done, 142 postgraduates are there, and they're all in various campuses. So it was during that time, while addressing the passing out or those who have got graduated, etc., Swami had given an address. I thought it gives a very good setting as to what is the role, and a short video of 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Can I request the audio team, AV team to project?
These youngsters who have taken the mantle from the elders, they are such wonderful youths, so promising, so dedicated, so committed to this cause of giving education, not just the education that helps us fill our bellies, but the education that will redeem us once for all from this cycle of birth and death and make us realize who we truly are. That kind of education these children have set out to impart to the world today. And this moment, this time is historic. And today we may not know the gravity of what has happened. But in years to come, this day will be remembered again and again in great awe and wonder as to how this mission propelled itself from nothing to a global mission where no child should be left behind. Every child should get the basic right of education, healthcare, nutrition, or whatever be the requirement of that child. It may sound a bit outlandish when I say from here that this mission is the one which is going to transform the world, no other mission. This mission is the one which is going to transform the world, and these are the boys and girls. Sounds like a tall order, but it is the truth, plain truth, simple divine truth. 10 years ago, if somebody would have told you there will be a university over here and graduates and postgraduates would come out and join this mission, tens of campuses will open in short succession, and there will be a medical college, and the prime ministers and the presidents of the world would visit this place, those who have seen these 10 years ago, they would have called Nimhans and told, we have another case for you. That's what they told Narasimhamurthy in those days. I think he is losing it. But he was very clear. No, this is the divine command, and whatever it takes, we will do. We do not know how it will happen, but we know it will happen. And we are ready to do whatever it takes for us to make it happen. And today, after this whole decade of tireless love, tireless service, this is what is there for the whole world to see. And if this is any proof of divine providence and divine will, then you can imagine what's coming next, with so many divine young boys and girls at the helm of affairs. I am preparing youngsters here, and each of them I am training to be guided by this higher intuition to do the right thing. And right now I may be having just a few hundreds, but a time will come. For every 10,000 people in this country, I will have one of my own groomed, trained, mentored student who will guide them. And they are not going to wear ochre robes and grow long hair and beard and all the paraphernalia and drama that goes around spirituality. They'll be just ordinary, common people who will work in the society. They will merge in the society, mix in the society, gel in the society, won't even stand out, and yet they will do what is needed to be done. Quietly, silently, selflessly, they will do it. He said he was very stunned by this, and so then he started calculating. We are 1.4 billion people, so how many people will be required? He said, that will require hundreds, 100,000, 150,000 people. I said, yes, it will require that many people. More than 1 lakh boys and girls are required who will be there everywhere in the society, not necessarily young only. Anybody who is guided by intuition, who is connected to the divine, who is selfless, such a person is required. Oh, that many people. How much time it will take? He asked. I told it may take a few decades, or maybe it will happen faster. I do not know, but I am at it. We are working. We have started the process, and slowly, steadily, I hope it will reach somewhere. Then he was very, very reassured, I think. So what is the solution? I said, young people, the next generation has to be trained in such leadership skills where they're guided by God. They're driven by divinity.
This cycle has to continue. You'll have to every year find new seeds, plant them, grow them, reap the fruits. From the fruits, use the fruits as a seeds for the next level. Apart from this, in brief, we do conduct a number of trainings, which is basically on teaching skill workshop, orientation courses, efficiency to excellence, minds matter. So a number of future ready programs, as well as counseling the students, short staff development, interns and Palaka support, and need-based counseling is done. And similarly for the Pradhana Palakas, doing the reviews on a very constant basis because they are at young age, but they are all capable of doing it. They may require slight correction. So that is how this part of it, leadership development meetings are done. This is our team. Offer my gratitude for opportunity given to present this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commander Dr. Jayaram. This evening, we take great pride in honoring Rank Gear Private Limited with a CSR Circle of Honor for their remarkable contribution to the field of education through the generous support to the Each One Educate One scholarship program. The Rank Group is a global pioneer in high-performance propulsion and drivetrain technologies. With a legacy spanning over 150 years, Rank remains a symbol of engineering excellence, supporting diverse sectors, including marine, military, and industrial applications across its global network. Headquartered in Augsburg, Germany, Rank operates in more than 20 locations worldwide with a dedicated team of over 4,000 professionals driving innovation, sustainability, and the global energy transition. We now invite Mrs. Nagaratna BV, Head of HR and Administration, to come on stage and receive the award on behalf of Rank Gears Private Limited. A seasoned human resources professional with over 18 years of rich experience across aerospace, hydraulics, battery manufacturing, marine, and defense sectors, she has been instrumental in aligning HR strategies with organizational growth and fostering an environment of collaboration, welfare, and continuous improvement. We now invite Mrs. Nagaratna to share a few words.
Shri Sai Ram, respected Sadhguru, members of the Education One Foundation, One World, One Family Mission, and esteemed guests. On behalf of Rank, I sincerely thank you for this wonderful appreciation. We are honored to be recognized as far as the CSR efforts. At Rank, we believe true success includes giving back to the communities we serve. This recognition encourages us to continue making a positive and lasting impact. I am grateful to our dedicated team and partners whose hard work and support make these initiatives possible. Together, we remain committed to driving meaningful change and building a better future. Thank you once again for this honor. We look forward to continuing this journey with all of you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Mrs. Nagaratna. This evening, we are delighted to honor the French Republic, a land of timeless elegance, creativity, and cultural brilliance. Cradled by the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, France has long stood as a beacon of art, philosophy, and innovation, where history and modernity coexist in perfect harmony. From the grandeur of Château de Versailles, the Palace of Versailles, the iconic Eiffel Tower, La Tour Eiffel, to the serene beauty of Provence lavender fields and the majestic Alps, France is a land of diverse landscapes and rich heritage. Its legacy of literature, painting, music, and cinema has inspired generations worldwide, shaping the global narrative of culture and creativity. Today, France remains a symbol of humanism, artistic excellence, and intellectual pursuit. A nation where ideas flourish, communities unite, and the spirit of liberty, equality, fraternity, liberté, égalité, fraternité, which resonates deeply with the ideal of one world, one family. And this evening, we are deeply honored to present the One World, One Family Global Humanitarian Award to Mr. Yves Mach, a visionary, humanitarian, and social innovator for his contribution in the field of healthcare and community development in the Asian country of Bangladesh. Mr. Mah is a co-founder of Friendship Bangladesh, an NGO dedicated to serving the isolated and the underprivileged riverine communities. His visionary idea led to the creation of the Floating Hospital Project. In addition to his humanitarian initiatives, Mr. Mah founded the Tara Tari shipyard, pioneering the construction of innovative and sustainable watercraft, including river ambulances and floating hospitals. He also co-founded the Maritime Security and Rescue Society in Bangladesh, enhancing safety and rescue operations for seafarers. His commitment to maritime safety, to the Maritime Security and Rescue Society, further reflects his lifelong dedication to protecting lives and livelihoods on the waters of Bangladesh. We are honored to present Mr. Yves Mah with the One World, One Family Humanitarian Award in recognition of his vision, leadership, and exemplary humanitarian service. We invite him to receive the honor. We now invite Mr. Yves Mah to deliver his acceptance speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir. It is both an honor and a tremendous joy for me to stand before you this afternoon. You have gathered in great numbers to celebrate the centenary of your spiritual master, and I am profoundly moved by your dedication. I fully realize the responsibility that rests on my shoulders as I accept your greetings and to convey your kind respects and thoughts to the citizens of my country, France. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to Sri Madhusudan Sai and to all the organizers who are rallying around the universal message represented by the Global Festival 2025. One world, one family. This message resonates deeply within each of us and serves as a reminder of the importance of unity and brotherhood in our world. I recognize its universality. Upon receiving your award and invitation, I immediately thought of the commitments of so many of my compatriots in service to humanity. They serve people all around the world in so many international associations. I would like to salute and pay tribute to each of them today. International, this is also your motto as you carry the mantra, one world, one family. Hope lies in working together. It is in that spirit that I have agreed to meet you and to share these values. Each of us has the ability to become a change for the world. Each of us carries the potential to transform our world. And I hope that all our personal changes will converge in a chain reaction, and that the chain reaction will illuminate the world and truly fulfill your motto, one world, one family. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Yves Mah. And this evening, for the country presentation, we have with us Miss Arosa Camlong from France, an artist whose life is a gentle blend of creativity, faith, and selfless service. Her love for painting not only expressed her artistic soul, but also became a means for her spiritual journey. Each painting she sold helped her travel to India, seeking higher truth and divine inspiration. Guided by her strong values since childhood, she has dedicated her life to serving others through various seva initiatives and to living by the principles of love and compassion. In 2017, she had the blessed opportunity to welcome Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai into her home in France, and then she found her purpose in life. We welcome Ms. Arosa Camlong to share the culture and traditions of France.
Salutations to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and to our visionary Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, and gratitude to him for guiding us and bringing everyone here together as one family. Bonsoir à tous. Good evening, every dear family present here. It's a joy to share about the French Republic at this one world, one family world cultural festival. France is in Western Europe famous for its culture and history. France is home to about 67 million people, with Paris as its lively and historic capital. The country's climate varies, mild in the north and west, warmer in the south, and colder in the eastern regions. The currency you use is the euro. 1 euro is equal to about 103 Indian rupees. The official language is French. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, built in 1889, and is known as the world icon. Here we see the clear blue waters of Lac Blanc, a stunning alpine lake. Rising majestically in the background is Mont Blanc at Chamonix, the highest peak in Western Europe, celebrated for its breathtaking beauty and adventurous spirit. The Palace of Versailles shows the beauty and power of French history. Today, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its grand halls and beautiful gardens. Mont Saint-Michel is a beautiful old monastery on an island in Normandy. It seems to float on the sea when the tide comes in. The French Riviera is known for its sunny beaches and clear blue waters. It's also loved for its festivals, luxury lifestyle, and stunning coastal views. France has a long Christian tradition, especially Catholicism. The French also value philosophy, freedom, and human rights. The Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris is a symbol of faith and culture. French cuisine is loved worldwide with bread and cheese. Meals are enjoyed slowly as a time for family and friends. Ratatouille is a classic French dish made of stewed vegetables like tomato, eggplant, and zucchini. It's often enjoyed with bread and rice and is both healthy and comforting. Croissants are buttery flaky pastries shaped like a crescent moon. They are usually eaten for breakfast with coffee or hot chocolate. The baguette, recognized by UNESCO as part of France's cultural heritage, is a daily staple that symbolizes French tradition and community life. Our traditional wear for women include lace headpieces, long skirts, and embroidered blouses. And for men, it's berets, waistcoats, and trousers. France is famous for art, fashion, and film. Music and dance include classical opera and ballet. Bastille Day on 14 July celebrates French freedom with parades and fireworks. Marie Curie is a Nobel Prize-winning scientist in advanced medicine and physics. She was the only person to win Nobel Prize in two sciences. She discovered radium and polonium. Zinedine Zidane is one of France's greatest footballers, known for his skill and vision. He led France to victory in the 1998 FIFA World Cup and Euro 2000. Education is compulsory for all children between the age of 3 and 16. Migrant youth face double the dropout risk despite France's strong education system. France is facing growing challenge with food insecurity as rising living costs and inflation make it harder for many households to maintain a balanced diet. Healthcare and social care are under strain, with funding gaps and limited support for the rural elderly. Homelessness and poverty continue to affect thousands of people in France's major cities. Encouraging healthier eating habits is becoming an important public health priority. Youth unemployment and social inequality remain significant challenge for the country. Refugees and migrants need greater support for integration, particularly in housing and education. France shows a strong culture of service with over 1 million associations and millions of volunteers. Charities and food banks provide meals, care for the elderly, and support migrants and refugees. Love is seen in everyday acts of solidarity, from neighbors sharing food to volunteers helping the poor and sick. France teaches the world about liberty, equality, and fraternity. It reminds us that culture and compassion can go hand in hand. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, and Daniel Webb.
Thank you, Ms. Ahosa Kamlang. This evening, we have Ms. Sathya Louis from France, a teacher, a healer whose life reflects the journey of faith. She graduated from the International Academy of Health Energy Sciences and Ecobiology in Strasbourg. She is a naturopathic healer, therapist, and educator dedicated to promoting holistic well-being. Through her teachings and individual consultations, Ms. Sathya has helped many rediscover harmony between body, mind, and spirit. She'll be sharing her transformative journey with us this evening. Miss Sathya Louis.
Good evening to everyone here in this hall and to friends from around the world. My deepest gratitude to Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai for bringing us together as one family and for giving me this chance to share my journey of transformation. My name is Sathya Louis. In French, the name Louis means close to God. I was born into a Catholic family, but over time, I discovered that my true religion is the religion of the heart of universal love. I studied at the International Academy of Energy Health Sciences and became a natural energy therapist. For many years, I've taught lectures and lead healing workshops at the sacred energy sites of Karnak in France. About 30 years ago, something shifted. Inspired by Sadhguru's example, I decided to transform my profession into seva, giving one free word for every paid hour. It was a way of remembering that service is not limited to temples or projects. It can flow through daily work, family, and ordinary routines when done with love. This commitment deepened during my very first stay at Prashanti Nilayam. One morning, I was waiting in the kitchen area for the doors to open. Suddenly, a dawn came, pulled gently at my wrist, and led me straight to the door. At that exact moment, the door opened and a call for volunteers was made. In that instant, I understood the divine message: service is the way. From that day forward, Seva became part of my life. In time, I joined the French team contributing to the cultural program. We live far apart in different regions of the country, and many of us had never met before. We discovered that distance doesn't matter when the heart is one. Unlike other nations, we do not gather weekly in a spiritual group or service center, but each of us serves in our own way where we are. What binds us together is Sri Madhusudan Sai, Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai's teaching that love and service transcend boundaries, and his vision that the world can truly live as one world, one family. Coming together from different regions of France was a new experience for us. We carried with us different ages, backgrounds, and perspectives. What at first seemed complex soon revealed itself as a gift. Diversity became our teacher. Through it, I understood more deeply that Sadhguru's mission is about unity in diversity, about learning to move from I to we, and discovering the strength that comes when love brings us together as one family. In moments of challenge, Sadhguru's teaching gave me strength. I remember a story he often shares in his Master the Mind classes about the little boys in a tug-of-war game. Even his teammates began to give up. The boy held on with all his strength because of his determination. The team eventually succeeded. That story came me like a flash of grace, as Sadhguru himself was whispering, "Hold on, don't give up. That moment helped me realize real transformation is about trust and surrender, allowing Sadhguru to act through us. When I withdrew my own will and prayed, please inspire me to act through you, situations that once seemed blocked began to open. Conversation softened, unity grew. What was difficulty slowly became harmonious. This new way of seeing flowed into my daily life as well. Even in something as simple as cooking, I felt divine presence beside me. My husband would taste the food and say, "It feels lighter." For me, it was a reminder that every act, even the smallest, can become savor when it's done with love and surrender. The lessons I carry from this journey are simple yet universal: perseverance, discernment, detachment, compassion, and listening. Always remembering that Sadhguru is guiding each of us. Friends may not have a large organized group, but we have discovered something precious. Even when people are far apart, love can unite them. Even when service looks different in each region, the spirit behind it is the same. This is the essence of one world, one family. To realize that we belong each other beyond distance and beyond difference. As I stand here today, I see how every step of my path has been preparing me for this. That began with a dog tugging at my wrist outside the kitchen, has led me here, standing before you, filled with gratitude, with love, and with a humble prayer that this experience may inspire others too. I thank my French team for their commitment and strength, and I thank Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, who has surrendered his life so that humanity may awaken to the divinity within and learn to live as one family. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sathya Louis. Now, on behalf of everyone, we pray to Sadhguru to bless us all with his divine discourse.
On this very special evening where we celebrate the Republic of France, a country that is synonymous with art, culture, beauty, aesthetics, elegance, and of course, some of the most important constitutional values like liberty, equality, and fraternity, the gifts of the French Revolution. I am so reminded of my travels to France, to Paris, which always brought such kind of joy because the whole city is so vibrant with a kind of culture and which is rooted in art and rooted in beauty. French people are known for their fashion and style. Everybody knows that. And if you go to that one street called Champs-Élysées, you'll see all world's topmost brands lined up. It's the most expensive shopping street in the world. But leaving that aside, the very idea of France brings the idea of so much of beauty and aesthetics. The river Paris, a cruise on that which we had during the last visit. Watching the Eiffel Tower come alive with lights in the sunset hours and accompanied by the French music. It was an experience that one must have only to understand how it feels. So France has a lot of beautiful things to offer, and today I'm sure all the children enjoyed a very tasty, healthy peasant dish, ratatouille, which they lovingly cooked for us. So I'm very happy that our French brothers and sisters are here, who are here to celebrate that country and its culture. And more importantly, when I hear of these three great values, which, as I said, were born after the French Revolution and France was declared a republic and redeemed from the anarchy, the idea of liberty, equality, and fraternity. That is exactly what a One World, One Family mission's values are. Where there is freedom, freedom to live one's life as per the divine diktats, not as per the societal forces. That is a family, that is the freedom, that is the liberty that we talk about. When you can do your heart's bidding, when you can follow your purpose and are not forced into molds made by societal rigidity. So a poet can be a poet, a philosopher can be a philosopher, a musician can be a musician, a scientist can be a scientist. All kinds of people can exist in harmony and freedom. That's the idea of liberty. And all these opportunities are accessible to everyone. They are not denied because they were born differently or in different communities or they follow different religions. None of these applied. That is the idea of liberty. Equality, that all men are made equal in the eyes of God. However, the current society and its norms do not allow this equality to happen. And these egalitarian values which Bhagavan preached, that everybody is equal, all are one, my dear son, be alike to everyone. He used to quote from Bible and Jesus' words, that all are equal, all are children of God. In a family, one child might be born early and one might be born later, but they are all children of the same family and they all deserve the same treatment of respect, of equality, of love, of compassion and kindness. And that is the idea of equality, which is one of the three major values of French thought. And of course, the idea of all people being a part of the same family, fraternity. We are all one fraternity. We belong to the same family, the family of God, the family of humanity, whichever way we put it. Whether we are French or Americans or Italians, Indians, Australians, doesn't matter. We all are one family. If you can think of the whole world as a home, all continents are various rooms, and everybody living there are all our brothers and sisters. That is the idea of fraternity. I think these are the values for which even our mission stands, one world, one family. And these values, they also became a part of the democracy in the eventual years. When I was in the US, the idea of liberty, you have the Statue of Liberty, which was a gift of these people to the US. And that stands as a symbol of freedom, freedom of thought, freedom of action, freedom of speech, freedom of being human. Long, many years, for centuries, people were suffering under slavery. And humans were sold like animals. Even animals shouldn't be sold according to me, but then even humans were sold like that. And that is the idea of liberty. It is such an important idea that we must protect it with our lives. These ideas are born in French land, and Napoleon Bonaparte, who I admire for his courage. Of course, there are 100 things people say about him, but the very idea that he's somebody who fought for this kind of liberty of his people, that inspires us even today. So when somebody yesterday was there and they were looking at this new hospital building which is coming up, it has got a huge dome on top of it. And this was borrowed from the idea of the US Capitol Hill, which is its democratic institution. So I'd been there, I saw it from far, something just pulled my I don't know, heart, and tugged at my heart, and I felt this is something. And I asked, what is this? Why this dome is so tall? Why is it made like this? It's called rotunda. And they said, this was made as a symbol of liberty, equality, and justice, which is the US democratic principles. And this stands for these ideas as a symbol, as a mark of these wonderful human values. And that is how we thought healthcare also should be equal to all. Health should also be available to everyone. It should be equal, it should be fair. It can't be a business, so it has to be fair. So justice should be there in that. And freedom should be there for people to access that healthcare. They should not be denied because they can't pay for it or they can pay for it. So again, borrowing from these great values, we adopted that idea and we are putting up this dome over there. Of course, it's taking an arm and a leg and everything more to get that going because it is quite a structure. And you can see 4 cranes and I don't know how many hundreds of workers and how many pieces of the puzzles, they have to all come together, fit it exactly. And Bharat is always, biting his nails because this is not easy to get this together with limited time. If you had 20 years like the US Capitol Hill was built or maybe over a century, then it is okay, but it's all being done quickly. And of course, modern technology is there, it helps us. But recently he was telling me that as they were removing the scaffoldings from the first level of the ring beam, which holds a lot of weight of the dome, they were very scared that if suppose the structure shakes and it does not really stay that way, then all these pieces of art that are coming and sticking on top of it, they will all get misaligned and there will be gaps and leakages. So the margin of error for the deviation was just 50 millimeters. You can imagine 1 millimeter is like your nails width or something like that. 50 millimeters, all that was the margin of error in such a huge dome. If it went a little this way or that way, the entire thing would be a mess. And you cannot correct it. Now you cannot correct it. It's gone past all corrections. So they were very, very, their heart in their mouth. He came and told, Swamiji, tomorrow we are removing the support and that ring beam should not shake. 50 millimeter is all that is the margin of error. If it goes beyond that, we are gone. We don't know what to do with after that. I said, don't worry. We have done everything to the best of our abilities. Everything will happen. God is with us. Do not worry. And finally, with heart in their mouth, they removed the scaffoldings and it only shook by 36 millimeter. That was within the margin of error. For that size, 36 millimeter is like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, something like this. That's it. That was the deviation from. So it's an engineering marvel actually in its own. Someday I will probably, after all this is done, we will go through the entire construction of this great building. Of course, in those days, it was even more difficult because that was done without these kind of cranes and equipment and CAD and all the computer-aided programming and things like that. They did it all by sketches. So imagine their level of perfection. Now, why I deviated from the story was because these 3 values were the ones that inspired the dome. That equality, liberty, fraternity, these should be available to one and all, and especially in the matter of healthcare, which is crucial because it's the matter of life and death. And if you're alive, as they say, jaan hai to jahan hai. If you're alive, then you can do things. But if you don't have access to healthcare for whatever reasons, you cannot have these things. So I was reminded of the French Revolution. I was reminded of these great values that were born in the French hinterlands by the revolutionaries. And finally, we have an institution which stands for these amazing democratic values. And you will have it opening in a couple of weeks from now. Of course, as I said, it's a steep climb, but I'm sure everything is possible because this is mission I am possible. That is why everything is possible. So it will happen. Coming back to France again, I've been gone long tour. Yeah, so I also went to the beautiful church, Notre Dame. And recently it had got burnt because of some fire accident, but they rebuilt it. It's come back to its shape and it's been opened again. And that's a beautiful story because when you go inside, that is the altar, and there is a beautiful glass painting behind that, huge one. And the light filters through it in myriad hues of various colors that filter through that entire art piece. And it is magical. You have to stand there to see the sunlight coming through those colored glass art pieces, huge ones, They're all done by hand in those days, you can imagine. It's a beautiful sight. When I went there, I told why this whole thing is so dark. That whole Notre Dame church was quite dark. Only they have left, the light would come through only these colored glass art pieces which are behind the altar and some other places. They said that was the whole idea, because in France, during the darkest period, they felt light is the representation of the divine. And so wherever there is more light, there is more divinity. And so they only kept, the entire church was made in such a way that the light, whenever sun rises, the light comes through, filtering through all those colored glasses. It reminds you of the divine is still around and touching you, because they had a very dark time before the revolution, as we all know of. And then I noticed something very interesting in France. They have these apartments everywhere, all made in stone and very beautiful. And they have larger windows below, and then the windows get smaller, and the third floor windows are even smaller, and fourth is the attic. They have hardly any windows, very small ones. They told the larger the windows, the richer the people were. That is how they were taxed. So if you put up a big window, it means you are getting a lot of light inside your room. You have to pay more tax. That is how it was. So the rich urban people lived on the ground floor, the poorer lived on the first and then the second, and the poorest, the workers and everybody lived in the attic on top. So some of these things I learnt about France, that how people lived in those days. But all said and done, it's beautiful, and there is a 0 point in France near Notre Dame Church. You go there and you put your foot over there. If you put your foot over there, they say that you will come back again to France, because that is the center of France or center of Paris. So that is also a story that they tell. All said and done, it's a beautiful country, a very rich cultural heritage, is bursting with so much of art and traditions, and a lot of artists were given place in Paris in those days, especially, as they say, the Dark Age. Those times, a lot of artists made their way to France, to Paris, stayed there, and beautiful music and art came out of that wonderful place. So also scientific advancement and other things that happened. So it was a place of so much of intellectual and cultural fertility, and it continues to be so, maybe not in the same way. But it's a beautiful country, and I cannot stop talking about France and its beauty, because it is truly beautiful. And the most beautiful city on earth is Paris. If you haven't been to the Paris, you don't know what beauty is in a city. Like these Bangalores and Bombays are not beautiful at all, let me tell you. You should go to France and stay there. Some of our children have traveled with me during the European tour. How many of you have come to France? Some of them have traveled, right? Some of the senior boys must have gone with me. Yeah, so some of them are in other campuses. But I make sure that when we go to the Europe tour, they do go to France. That is a must. They should miss. So this time I could not go because I had other places to go, but I made sure that they all went there and saw the beautiful city. I did climb up the Eiffel Tower at one point in time, all the way up. It's beautiful. These are the students who traveled with me, and a lot of devotees also. These are not with me. This is my previous trip where we traveled with a lot of devotees, then students. So I just want people to see the world and feel that oneness, that kinship. And the only thing difficult about France is the French language. It's very difficult to speak. They write in one way and they speak in another way. You saw that. So that is how it is. But as I said, it is a beautiful language. Those who want to learn, they should learn French as well. It's a very, very, very different language, a very interesting language too. And first time I had gone to France, I couldn't read a board properly because they were saying something, but it was not matching with the spellings as we know. So I was struggling with what are they saying? Is this the same thing or is it something else that they're talking about? But that is how French are. Our Tigrid would always take a dig at all the French people. He would say, when the world goes right, the French go left. They have a mind of their own. That is what Tigrid used to keep saying. Okay, jokes apart, having brought this beautiful memory back of France and also celebrating somebody who has worked so hard. He drove all the way from France, rowing a boat. He came till Bangladesh and he set up mobile hospitals on boats, river hospitals. It is something amazing. Mr. Ma, who was celebrated and given the Humanitarian Award, is a fantastic work he has done for those totally remote rural areas beyond Sundarbans in Bangladesh, where the only access is river, the Brahmaputra, the great big river, and its tributaries. And he has made these floating hospitals, floating dispensaries, clinics on boats. Very interesting work. All the way from France, he has come and done that work. So we truly appreciate the kind of inspirational work they do. I also would like to congratulate or rather acknowledge the rank group for helping us with our mission. Everybody, as I said, contributes, it adds to the whole. Every drop counts, every little help matters. So these kind of people work with us. That's why we are able to do so many wonderful things. So we are grateful for that to Ms. Nagaratna, and please convey our regards to the company and the people behind. The Training and Development Department of the Institute was established much ahead of its time, because we knew that these children are coming from very different backgrounds. They don't have exposure to management or professional skills. They do not understand standards of quality or sticking to processes. These are not something that are naturally inbuilt in them, because they don't come from such professional background. Their parents are not professionals. Most of them come from rural India. So that is where this department was set up. It has done a wonderful job of redefining the admission process, which I'm very, very particular about, because if you sow the wrong seed, all the remaining years of looking after it is going to yield nothing at the end. That is such a wasted effort. So that is why every student is selected very carefully. And this is why we have reduced the numbers in the classroom. 12 years ago, one class used to have 55, 60 students. So you can imagine it was a market. And who is doing what and which end, nobody knew. So we have reduced the number down to just 20, out of which 10 are from general category and 10 are handpicked from rural poor societies, where our teachers travel all the way in back-breaking journeys through those rural roads to identify the students and then to convince the parents, because parents are not convinced to send the children. Even though it is free, even though this is a high quality, world class, the parents don't understand what is this, why should we send so far? That understanding that education is a leveler, they don't get it. So a lot of efforts are done to educate the parents and make them understand the importance of this education and bring the children, put them in the school. As I said, halfway through they don't want to study further because their aptitude is not there in some of them. Then we created skill building or skill development courses, agricultural courses, music and sports, so that they can find their heart and they can go and take up those as well, and there are no dropouts. So a lot of effort goes behind running this Gurukulam. It's not just another school where you just release applications and you get tens of thousands of submissions, and then you just take merit list, get the best marks people and put them in the school and be done. No, it is not so. And then we have made it an English medium, NIOS based curriculum. You can imagine those kids who have never spoken a word in English, they have to start learning, and within 3 years, between 6th and 8th, they have to write a public exam in English. So that's a huge task. But our teachers are doing a great job with the presence of our palakas, who are the in charges of these campuses. These are homegrown leaders who have been given responsibility at these campuses. They take care of these because they also have come from similar backgrounds. So they understand the trials and tribulations of these kids who come from rural backgrounds. They can connect with their parents better. That is how this education system is really transforming people. It's not just run-of-the-mill education system. It is with great deep thought and a lot of efforts that goes behind it. Dr. Jayaram, who came 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when he asked, what can I do here? I said, this is what you should do. You should train, set up a leadership academy and start teaching them. And they set up an academy called Future Ready Academy, we called it. What would it teach? The graduating students, it would teach them how to drive a car, how to cook a decent meal in case the cook runs away from your campus, how to repair a generator in case the electricity is not there and generator is not working, how to construct a building, how to maintain the buildings, how to teach, how to communicate, write emails and professional communication, how to meet the government officials, talk to them and connect with such people, liaising business, how to even meet and talk to parents and how to impress upon them the need for the education and keep them connected to the system, to anything and everything under the sky that is needed. The girls and boys both. Imagine, I did not know how to drive a car. I had to go to Bangalore after my education, and then I had to go and enroll myself in a driving school and then learn how to drive. Every morning before going to the office, I used to spend 1 hour with that driving school fellow and who would teach me how to drive around Bangalore. And these children, I said, if they don't know how to drive, when I said they all should learn how to drive, people said, why should they know? They're living in rural, remote areas. Something happens to the child. We have to drive the child to the nearest hospital. At that time, we can't be looking for a driver. If there is no driver, where do you go? They have to be independent. So all girls were also taught driving, and boys were also taught driving. No university would do that. That's a part of the Future Ready Academy. And would you believe that initially I used to teach driving to people. I taught Vinod and others driving myself. Because unless we invest in them and train them, we will be driving them all through the lives, not they driving us. So they all learnt from usage of smartphones to usage of internet, how to find things out for yourself, how to learn on the go. So many wonderful things were put as a part of Future Ready Academy. That's why these children are very smart. And after that, as I said, it grew into a full-fledged training and development department because we had students joining. They needed academic skills, teaching skills, and various other skills. The entire thing was automated. Software was brought in so that the entire process is seamless and automated, the admission process. Otherwise, can you imagine? In 2012, I remember, these many applications, people will be sitting in between piles of applications, personally correcting each of them. Hundreds of hours spent on that. So the whole result will come out only after so many days. Now everything is online. And people misuse free systems, you see. They used to take the application from here and sell it to people outside at a high cost in these coaching centers. All that was removed. And now it was made online and people can take a little help and get it. And as I said, for the poorest of the poor, we ourselves go and pick them up. We bring the parents here, make them see everything, help them understand how important it is for the child to stay away from home in a Gurukulam to grow. And this happens. But as Jayaram said, sometimes we also face difficulties. The parents don't understand the value of the system. Once the child reaches 3-4 years of education, they want to take the child back and put them in a job or put them elsewhere. That also happens all the time. But as I said, for the sake of a few bad apples, I can't throw away the basket. So we'll have to correct our processes, and slowly and steadily it is improving. With parent seva included now, where they come for seva in our hospital, that has also become very transformative. So it has taken a lot of effort to streamline this system. Why I am trying to bring this to your notice is because a lot of children won't even know that this much thought goes in before they are selected and put into these schools. There is such a huge process that is followed. And I'm very strict about it. No casual, no careless approach to that. Because as I said, what's the point in sowing a wrong seed and watering it for 7-10 years with all our heart? Finally, it won't yield anything because it was a bad seed in the first place. So you should choose your students very correctly. That is the idea. So now you got an idea of that. I'm very convinced that these children, as time passes, they will build institutions, not just run institutions. They will have the courage to go out and build more institutions, take more children in, and that is how this continuously will grow. That is the idea of how this mission will reach every nook and corner of the country and beyond. So to all the best to the central team for training and development, and everybody should benefit from it, all the teachers and others. One word to the teachers, many of them join us from faraway places. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೆಲಸ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಭಾವನೆಗಳೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಭಾವನೆ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊರಗಿಂದ ಬಂದವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ತಪ್ಪಾದಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ತಾವಿಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ತಮಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಅಂಥೇ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಏನೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಹಳ ಜನರು ಬೇರೆದಿಂದ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೇಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇದು ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಂತೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ತ್ರಿಶಂಕು ಸ್ವರ್ಗವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥವ್ರು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬ ಪುಣ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿಗೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು. ತಾವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ತಾವು ಮೇಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಶಾಲೆ ನಾವು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗಂತೂ ಭಾವನೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ತಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಭಗವಂತ, ಇಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಲ್ಕೊಂಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ನಾವು ಬರೀ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮಗೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಜೀವನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಗಿವ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಲೆಸ್, ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದಂಥದ್ದು ಜೀವನ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಈ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂದ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಟೈಮ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದ ಯಾವಾಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಗಮನ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ, ನಮಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಂತ. ಸೊ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಗಾಡ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಂದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಂಥ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ತಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ. ಭವಿಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗಾಗಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ and French music is known, French cuisine and French music, these are known for their speciality. So we are going to have some French music in a short while. I'll come back after a break.
This evening, we are delighted to welcome Montaigne Modern Orchestra from France. They will be presenting a selection of exquisite musical pieces. Their performances will take us on a journey to France's rich musical heritage, from timeless classical compositions to soulful traditional melodies. Let's open our hearts to this harmonious music that beautifully reflects the great and artistic spirit of France. The conductor of this orchestra is Pascal Pistone. On the viola, we have Didier Lacombe. On the violin, we have Doria Taro. And on the piano, melodica, and percussion, we have Adel Pistone. On the oboe, we have Melinda St. Paul. And on the piano and glockenspiel, we have Mathilde Chatin. And on the violoncello, we have Leah Mollon. And on the basset-horn, we have Etienne Rollin. And on the French horn, we have Maher Valbon. And on we have Marion Donnet on the French horn, and we have Jean-Charles Donnet, who's the French singer and dancer. And we also have Véronique Rapin, the French singer and dancer, who will also be performing today. We also have our university students accompanying the orchestra. On the contrabass, we have Om Sai Pradhan. On tabla, we have Likit Sai. And on the percussions, we have Manu.
On peut vivre sans richesse, presque sans le sou. Des seigneurs et des princesses, il y en a plus beaucoup. Mais vivre sans tendresse, on ne le pourrait pas. Non, 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 on ne le pourrait pas. On peut vivre sans la gloire qui ne mène à rien, être inconnu dans l'histoire, mais s'en trouver bien. Mais vivre sans tendresse, il n'en est pas question. Non, 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 il n'en est pas question. Quelle douce faiblesse, quel joli sentiment, ce besoin de tendresse qui nous vient en naissant. Vraiment, vraiment, vraiment. Le travail est nécessaire, mais s'il faut rester des semaines sans rien faire, eh bien l'on s'y fait. Mais vivre sans tendresse, le lent semblerait long. Long, 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 le temps semblerait long. Dans le feu de la jeunesse naissent les plaisirs, et l'amour fait des prouesses pour nous éblouir, oui. Mais sans la tendresse, l'amour ne serait rien. Non, 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 l'amour ne serait rien. Quand la vie impitoyable nous tombe dessus, nous sommes comme des pauvres diables, broyés et déçus. Alors sans la tendresse d'un cœur qui nous soutient, non, 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 on n'irait pas plus loin. Quand un ange vous embrasse, on est vraiment heureux. Tous les chagrins s'effacent, on a les larmes aux yeux. Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu, dans ton immense sagesse, immense ferveur, laissez pleuvoir sans cesse au fond de nos cœurs des torrents de tendresse pour que règne l'amour, règne l'amour jusqu'à la fin des jours.
The one for me, for me, for me, formidable. You are my love, very, 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 véritable. Je ferais mieux d'aller chercher mon vocabulaire pour te plaire dans la langue de Molière, my désir. Désir désirable. Je suis malheureux d'avoir si peu de mots à t'offrir en cadeau, darling. I love you, darling. I want you. Et puis c'est à peu près tout. You are the one for me, for me, for me, formidable. You are the one for me, for me, for me, formidable. But how can you see me, see me, see me, see me, nable? Je ferais mieux d'aller choisir mon vocabulaire pour te plaire dans la langue de Molière. Toi, tes eyes, ton nose, tes lips adorables. Tu n'as pas compris? Tant pis, ne t'en fais pas. Viens dans mes bras, darling. I love you, darling. I want you. Et puis le reste on s'en fout. You are the one for me, for me, for me, formidable. Je me demande même pourquoi je t'aime. Toi qui te moques de moi et de tout, avec ton air canaille, 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 oh canaille, love you.
m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé. Avec mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu. Les désirs, les passions, je n'ai plus besoin d'eux. Balayer les amours avec leur trémolo, balayer pour toujours, je repars à zéro. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien, car ma vie, car ma joie, aujourd'hui, je la passe avec toi. Sous le ciel de Paris s'envole une chanson. Elle est née d'aujourd'hui dans le cœur d'un garçon. Sous le ciel de Paris marchent des amoureux. Leur besoin est de faire leur bonheur aujourd'hui. Sur le pont de Bercy, un philosophe assis, deux musiciens, quelques badauds et des gens par milliers. Sous le ciel de Paris, jusqu'au soir vont chanter l'hymne d'un peuple épris de sa vieille cité. Près de Notre-Dame, parfois couve un drame. Oui, mais à Paname, tout peut s'arranger. Quelques rayons du ciel d'été, l'accordéon d'un marinier, l'espoir fleurit au ciel de Paris. Sous le ciel de Paris coule un fleuve joyeux. Il endort dans la nuit les clochards et les gueux. Sous le ciel de Paris, les oiseaux du bon Dieu viennent du monde entier pour bavarder entre eux. Mais le ciel de Paris a son secret pour lui. Depuis 20 siècles, il était pris de notre île Saint-Louis. Quand elle lui sourit, il met son habit bleu. Quand il pleut sur Paris, c'est qu'il est malheureux. Quand il est trop jaloux de ses millions d'amants, il fait gronder sur eux son tonnerre éclatant. Mais le ciel de Paris n'est pas longtemps cruel. Pour se faire pardonner, il offre un arc-en-ciel.
Vers les docks où le poids et l'ennui me courbent le dos. Ils arrivent le ventre alourdi de fruits, les bateaux. Ils viennent du bout du monde emportant avec eux des idées vagabondes, reflets de ciel bleu, de mirages. Traînant un parfum poivré de pays inconnus, d'éternes étés où l'on vit presque nu sur les plages. Moi qui n'ai connu toute ma vie que le ciel du Nord. Je voudrais débarbouiller ce gris environ de bord. Emmenez-moi au bout de la terre, emmenez-moi au pays des merveilles. Il me semble que la misère serait moins pénible au soleil. Un beau jour, au fond d'un rafiot craquant de la coque au pont. Pour partir, je travaillerai dans la soute à charbon. Prenant la route qui mène à mes rêves d'enfant vers des îles lointaines où rien n'est important que de vivre. Où des vies attendries vous ravissent le cœur en tressant ma tondie de ces colliers de fleurs qui enivrent. Je fuirai, laissant là mon passé sans aucun remords. Sans bagage et le cœur libéré en chantant très fort. Emmenez-moi au bout de la terre, emmenez-moi au pays des merveilles. Il me semble que la misère serait moins pénible au soleil. Emmenez-moi au pays des merveilles. Il me semble que la misère serait moins pénible au soleil. La 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 Il revient à ma mémoire des souvenirs familiers. Je revois ma blouse noire lorsque j'étais écolier.
Sur le chemin de l'école, je chantais à pleine voix des romances sans paroles, vieilles chansons d'autrefois. Douce France, cher pays de mon enfance, bercé de tendre insouciance, je t'ai gardé dans mon cœur. Mon village, au clocher, aux maisons sages, où les enfants de mon âge ont partagé mon bonheur. Oui, je t'aime et je te donne ce poème. Oui, je t'aime dans la joie ou la douleur. Douce France, cher pays de mon enfance, bercé de tendre insouciance, je t'ai gardé dans mon cœur. Je te donne ce poème. Oui, je t'aime dans la joie ou la douleur. Douce France, cher pays de mon enfance, bercé de tendre insouciance, je t'ai gardé dans mon cœur. Je t'ai gardé dans mon cœur.
have gone on for some more time. It's so good. Thank you. That was very beautiful music and we really enjoyed. You took us through several of the emotions. And the last one was very beautiful, like a quiet army marching forward, maybe Napoleon's army. I do not know, but that was very beautiful. The songs were amazing. It felt like we were drifting through the river Parry in a cruise ship and the songs were going on in the background. As you look at the lights of Paris, all the buildings that light up in the evenings, that looks so beautiful. It's like a poetry in the motion. It was beautiful and I'm very grateful for all the musicians for coming here and presenting such a wonderful piece of wonderful orchestra. And what an exposure for the students and everybody who is attending this cultural festival to even get to see, because the authentic music, if you want to listen to it, then you'll have to go all the way to France. But here is all these people coming and presenting in front of all of us, so everybody gets benefited by that. So I think we are very, very thankful to all the musicians for coming all the way. Merci.
Let's all rise for the national anthem of France, followed by the national anthem of India. जय भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठ द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता।